Some of you are still operating in the way that a person with low self-esteem is operating. You speak about faith, you speak about how you're going to be blessed, and how you try to be a good person, but your actions dictate that you have low self-esteem because you keep attracting people who want to use you because of how you're so willing to give away what has been blessed to you already. Physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially, and you're giving it away to every single person who gives you some attention or a sweet word. Just because somebody gives you attention or a sweet word does not mean that they care about you. They could have sinister intentions. They could be narcissistic. They're out to get something from you because a lot of them are living in a dark place and have been, some of them since before birth, living in a dark place. Some people were born in a dark place because their mothers were born in dark places. Their grandmothers were born in dark places. And they passed on that energy to you because they never sought healing for being in a dark place, because some of them probably didn't even realize they were operating in a dark place. And you wonder why you're not getting the blessings that you've been asking for all these years, and why people keep using you all the time. I talk a lot about how you can stand up for yourself. But you know what? Come to find out, some people don't know how to stand up for themselves because they don't realize they need to. So if you don't realize that there's a problem, it's just like addiction. If you don't realize you have a problem, how are you going to make steps to solve a problem that you don't even think exists? You can't. Something has to happen in your life to make you change your perspective and change your thinkings, give you an aha moment, or snap you the fuck out of that cloud that you're in order for you to realize that you were operating in a problem type energy. And you are attracting people. You only attract two types of people when you're like that. You attract people that are going to bring you more problems, or people who are going to dominate you, which is actually a problem in itself. But you're not going to have anybody who's complete or anything else in your life, and you keep doing the same things over and over again. I'm going to give you a scenario about someone that I know who is a hard worker, nice person, and everything else. But I'm from the outside looking in and could see that they could get a little bit more if they just get rid of some of the dead weight, and unfortunately in this case it's their family. Matter of fact, I know more than one person in this position, but the other person I don't talk to anymore because that person didn't want to hear what I have to say. And they're still suffering through it. There's a young man who works very hard to take care of his family now. He didn't have it so great coming up. He was a teenage father. And by the time he got grown and was able to muddle through life, he did what he had to do, but eventually he found his dream job. And the first thing that came to mind was to take care of the people that took care of him. Okay, granted, there's nothing wrong with that. But make sure when you go through that list of people who take care of you, make sure that you go through the entire history that you've had with this person. Make sure you go through how they treated you and how your relationship has been. The reason why I say that is because just because you have a new mentality towards life, that person could be operating that same negative energy. And if you turn around and give them your bounty, it's not going to make anything better. So this young man decided he wanted to give back, and in this case it was his mother, because she did everything she could to take care of him. But see, it doesn't take time to think about the fact that when he became a teenage father, that his mother disconnected with him for 2 or 3 years because she was so embarrassed that she had a grandchild. He didn't think about the fact that every time, to this day, that he gets paid, she's there like clockwork trying to get money from him. And he gives it to her, because that's my mom. Anytime he gets a dime extra, he's sharing every aspect of his life. His mother has made him her husband because she never married or remarried and can't keep a man in her life. Anytime she feels the need of somebody to take care of her, she's picking up the phone calling her son. Son, I need this. Son, I need that. Son, I need this. Son, I need that. And some of you women know who you are. Stop doing this to your sons. That is your child. That's not your husband. That's not your man. That's not your boyfriend. Go get one. Or your wife. Whatever you choose to have. Whatever your partner. That's not your partner. That is your child who you are responsible for since birth. That's somebody you brought into the world. That is not your mate. But you figure you're too old to get out there, whatever the case may be, and you just figure it's just easier to lead on your child because you trust your child. Your child has a life. And you know your child is not going to say no. That's another reason why you do this. You know they're not going to say no. And if they do, you try to use emotional blackmail on them and try to put out this pity party about how hard it was when you raised them and everything else when news flash. Guess what? That was a choice you made. And I know for some of you this might be a little traumatic to hear, but that's true. The circumstances might have been hard in regards to your childhood or whatever the case may be, but still, there were choices that you made. And just because you didn't try to strive and do anything better in your life, you want to live vicariously through your children, okay, that's fine. But for you to turn around and expect something from their bounty that they worked hard for, that's just not right. You still have breath in your body and you're still able to think and move and breathe. So you know what you need to do is you need to take your ass out there and work on your dream. But see, you were conditioned to believe that after a certain age you can't do shit. So because of that, you just feel, oh, well, it's time for my children to take care of me. Who said that? Some doctrine written by somebody else that you didn't even know of hundreds of years before you came along? No, them damn people. And they didn't know you. So this poor man, I mean, he's just nice as he could be, very friendly, does a great job, likable. But to turn around and to sit there, and it's sad to hear that every time I check in on him, because we've been friends for years. Every time I check in on him, he's always talking about how his mother hits him up for money all the time. And sits there with a smile on his face like he's happy, but deep down, I know he's not. Because he'll turn around the next day and tell his friends about how he wish he had this and how he wish he has that. You don't have those things because you let it. And it's hard when you have a mother, the person who raised you, to do that. They're operating in karmic energy. They're gold digging out of you. And if this applies to some people, I'm very sorry to hear that. You might be upset by hearing this. But some people's mothers, some people's grandmothers are the sole reason why they can't get nowhere in this world. They're the number one reason why. They're crippling you. I'll pray for you. And people like that, you can't tell them anything. They're going to live in that energy and live in that energy and live in that energy until they die. So if you're a close friend to these type of people, just accept it for what it is. It's going to be that way for a while until they choose that they've had enough. There's nothing you can do or say about it. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. Peace.